Shabbat Shalom to all of us, those of us who are here in our sanctuary, those of us in our Zoom congregation, on Facebook, on YouTube. We are so glad that you've chosen to spend the beginning of Shabbat with us. I'd like to open the service tonight with a reading that I first heard in Jerusalem at Hebrew Union College in 2012 when we were there as a congregation, a congregational trip. It's on page 125. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time, contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat, abide. We welcome Shabbat by increasing light, by enriching our souls. I would like to invite the women who are here in our congregation tonight to come to the bima and help us with the lighting of the candles. Page 120 if you are following in your prayer book. If there are any men who would like to join as well, please feel free. This is an all-inclusive congregation. We will reverse the trend for Kiddush.
Asher kishanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We tried. We even prepped them. Thank you.
We continue with L'chuna Ranana, Let Us Sing a Song of Joy, page 130. Where'd you go?
I'm right here. I needed to move the microphone out of the danger zone. L'chuna Ranana, l'Adonai, Nariya Letzur, Yishenu, Nekadma. Betoda bizmirot nari halo nekadma fanav betoda bizmirot nari halo shiru ladonai shir Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz Shiru l'Adonai baruchu shemo basru miyom leyom Yeshuato sapru v'goyim kevodo bechol ha'amim niflotav. La 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 la
Continue with the end of Psalm 98, Zamru l'Adonai b'chinor, sing praise to Adonai with all kinds of instruments, page 134.
זמרו לאדוני בכינור, בכינור וכל זמרה, בחצוצרות וכל שופר, הריעו לפני המלך אדוני. ירום היום ומלואו, תבל ויושבי בה, הידי נהרות, עמך וכף, האב יחד, הרים ירננו, לפני אדוני כי בא לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק ועמים במישרים. ירום הים ומלואו, תבל ויושבי בה, הידי נהרות, עמך וכף, האב יחד, הרים ירננו, האב יחד, הרים ירננו.
One more psalm, Psalm 29, page 136, a psalm of David.
מזמור לדוד, הבו לאדוני בני אלים, הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, ישחבו לאדוני בהדרת קודש, כל אדוני על המים, אל הכבוד הרים, אדוני, אדוני, המים רבים, כל אדוני בכוח, כל אדוני בהדר, כל אדוני שובר ארזים, וישבר אדוני את ארזי הלבנון, וירקידם כמו עגל לבנון, וסיריון כמו בן ראמים. כל אדוני חוצב להבות אש, כל אדוני יכיל מדבר, יכיל אדוני מדבר קדש, כל אדוני יחולל איילות, ויחשוף יערות, ובהיכלו כולו אומר כבוד, אומר כבוד, אומר כבוד, כולו אומר כבוד. אדוני למבול ישב, וישב אדוני מלך לעולם, אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום.
May Adonai grant strength to God's people. May Adonai bestow on God's people well-being. We continue with Lecha Dodi, a melody, a poem composed by Shlomo Halevi Alkabetz in the 16th century in the beautiful town of Sfat in Israel. The prayer is written as an acrostic with his name being the first letter of each of the verses. And so if you forget what the first word is of each verse, just think of his name. We will sing verses 1, 2, 5, 6, and then when we get to verse 9, we will rise and face the door as if to welcome the Shabbat bride. Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela Shamor v'zachor Ben dibur echad Yishmi'anu el HaMeyuchad Adonai echad U'shemo echad Leshem u'letiferet Ve'litina Lecha Dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha Ki hi mekor haberacha Merosh mikedem nesucha Sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila Lecha Dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela Hitoreri Ki ba'orech u'miori Ori shir daberi Kevod Adonai alaych nika Lecha Dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela
Verse 6.
Lo tevoshi ve'lo tikami Ma tishtochachi u'ma tehemi B'chechesu aniyei ami Ve'nivneta yirati la Lecha Dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela Boi b'shalom Ateret bala Gam b'simcha U'b'tzola Toch emunei Am segula Boi chala Lecha Dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela
You may be seated. One more psalm as we close out Kabbalat Shabbat and transition into our evening service. Mizmor Shir Liyom HaShabbat, page 140.
Mizmor shir leyom HaShabbat Tov lahodot l'Adonai U'lezamer l'shimcha elyon U'lezamer l'shimcha elyon Lehagid b'boker chasdecha Ve'emonatcha את אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו, עוד ינובון בשיבה, דשנים ורעננים יהיו, להגיד כי ישר אדוני, צורי ולא עוולת בו.
We transition with the Chatzi Kaddish, page 144.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון אוב יומכון, אוב חיי דכו בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי תקודשה ברכו לעילם מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ולחמתה, תמירן בהמה, ואמרו אמן.
We rise for the call to worship, our Baruch Hu prayer, page 146.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך, לעולם ועד.
Please be seated. We join together at the bottom of page 148 for Mariv Aravim in English. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tsevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim.
Amen.
Once we have acknowledged the physical elements of our universe, we turn to the love, going from physical to emotional and spiritual. And so we turn to Ahavat Olam, everlasting love you offered your people Israel, page 150.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu, uvekumenu naziach bechukecha, חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגה יומם ולילה נגה יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל אוהב עמו
Now turn to the Shema, our statement of oneness. Many years ago, I was at a conference, and Debbie Friedman, Shalom, was leading a conference on the spirituality of God. And she asked us to write a want ad for God. And the then unknown cantor Doug Kotler, who some of you may have heard, he has been here several times to entertain. Doug wrote a want ad, and he shared it with us in the workshop. And the want ad read, "One God, one people, inquire within." It's something I have always remembered because that is the essence of the Shema. It is acknowledging that God is one, we as a people are one, and we find that oneness by turning inward. And so I invite you to take a deep breath. Breathe in, and then exhale. Hear the sounds around you. The silence is loud sometimes. The first sound of the Shema is the letter Shin. It is that sound that we use when we want to quiet someone. May we use that Shin, the shh, to find solace and oneness in the universe. We join together in Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
We continue with Ve'ahavta, page 154.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת.
We join together at the bottom of page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Michamocha, page 158.
Ay, ay, alay, lay, ay, lay, alay, ay, lay, alay, lay, lay, lay. Ay, ay, alay, lay, ay, lay, alay, ay, lay, alay, lay, ay, lay, lay. Ay, lay, lay, alay, alay, lay, ay, lay, alay. Ay, 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 lay, 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 lay. Ya, lay, ya, lay, lay, ay, ay, lay. Ay, 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 lay, 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 lay. Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi kamocha netar bakodesh. Nora tehilot osefele, Nora tilot osefele. Alay rai mochotecha, ra'u banecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe Miriam. Ze eli anu ve'amro, oh ze li anu ve'amro. Lay, 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 ay, ay, lay, ay, lay, la, 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 lay. Lay, 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 ay, ay, lay, ay, lay, la, 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 lay. Ay, lay, ray, mochotecha, ra'u banecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe Miriam. Ze eli anu ve'amro, oh, ze li anu ve'amro. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
We turn to our prayer for protection, the Hashkivenu, that we say at night before lying down for a night of peaceful rest, praying that God will return us to life when we awaken, to a life renewed, one in which we can choose to make the world a better place. Hashkivenu, page 160, going right into Vishamru.
Ushmor tzeteinu uvoheinu l'chaim u'l'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam ufros aleinu Sukkot shalom echad, Baruch atah Adonai ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בני ובן בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, את הארץ. וביום השביעי, וביום השביעי, שבת ויהי נפל.
We rise for the tefillah, an opportunity for us to have a conversation with God, either in our hearts or in the pages leading up to 180. We start on page 164.
Adonai sfatai tiftach, ufi yagid, ufi yagid, tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may
Yihiu l'ratzonim refi v'hegyon libi lefanecha, Adonai tzuri v'goali. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer.
Ose shalom bimramav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimramav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimramav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Uyaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Uyaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Uyaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Uyaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam.
We conclude our prayers for this part of the service with the Misha Berach, a prayer for healing for those in need of strength due to illness, physical, spiritual, emotional, those mourning the death of a loved one, the loss, those suffering from addiction, and all others who are in need, including those in our own community. If there is a name you would like to bring into our midst, I invite you to do so, and we will include them in our prayers.
You said Sophia Lick.
Alan Boyarsky as well, also Andrea Goldberg, Anita Muchnikoff, Barbara Bevins, Barbara Rothbart, Dale Scully, David Trachtman, Edward Schechter, Elaine Sokol, Elaine Solomon, Evelyn Ma, Florence Nagler, Francia Yera, Fred Jacobson, Jerry Feldman, Janet Capps, Janet White, Jerry Harmon, Karen Guth, Marilyn Gwazdoff, Marlene Pfaff, Michael Hennig, Mindy Gladstein, Peter Gwazdoff, Rose Kaufman, Sheldon Weisbuck, Shirley Zeidman, Sophia Litt, and Susan Grosser. Is there anybody on our Zoom congregation? No one. For those mentioned and those in our hearts, we sing together the Misha Berach, our prayer for healing on page 371.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Le'imatenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before, make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We wish all of our loved ones a refuah shlema, a restoration, 100% to completion, to completeness. Refuah shlema. Shabbat shalom once again. In the winter 1998 edition of the journal that is produced by the Central Conference of American Rabbis, Dr. Isa Aaron, one of my colleagues, wrote, "Continuity was the buzzword of the early 1990s. But this has given way to the idea of transformation, the kind that relates to institutional identity and as a holistic system." Professor Aaron defined transformational change as change that challenges institutions to rethink and reinvent themselves. In this week's Torah portion, called Parshat Shmini, the Israelites have reached a critical moment in their journey. The priests have been ordained, the Mishkan, the sanctuary, has been built, and God, through Moses, calls upon the Israelites to transform themselves into a nation. The entire congregation stands together, Karav el HaMizbeach, drawing near to the Mishkan. They have all brought offerings to the tent of meeting as they were commanded, and now they await God's presence, as we read in the text. And they brought that which Moses had commanded before the tent of meeting, and the whole congregation drew near and stood before Adonai. And Moses said, "This is the thing that Adonai commanded you to do, that the presence of Adonai may appear to you." In order for the Shekhinah, or the presence of God, to dwell among the people, they had to create a vision of the kind of community they wanted to become. Isa Aaron states that transformational change involves changes in 4 areas. The first is structural. The physical space a community occupies, or the configuration of tasks in that community. Second is political, which refers to the balance of power. The third is human resources, the way in which individuals interact with one another. And fourth is cultural, the attitudes, beliefs, and patterns of behavior of a community's participants. Parshat Shmini gives us a model of precisely this kind of transformational change. The Mishkan has been completed, providing the Israelites with a central structure for religious and communal life. Moses, their spiritual leader, has led them to this moment. Power has now been redistributed to Aaron, his sons, the elders of Israel, and the leaders of every tribe. All Israel has gathered together to be karov la'Adonai, to be near to God, and to each member who has offered her or his own unique korban, or sacrifice, contributing to the larger community. Thus, the vision of a Kehila Kedoshah, a holy community, has been fulfilled. What can our contemporary synagogues and Jewish institutions learn from such historical experiences? Well, in her senior sermon delivered at Hebrew Union College in New York on April 6, 1998, Rabbi Felicia Soul stated, "When Moses called the community together, he named various groups of people, Aaron and the priests, the elders, and the entire congregation. We, too, must acknowledge that in order to create a Kehila Kedoshah, a holy community, we all have important roles and responsibilities. Leadership is central to the transformational process, and we can create gates of entry for participation and empowerment." In Shmini, the Israelites began to lay the foundation for this holy community. We know that this was just the beginning of their journey in the wilderness. As a nation continued to grow and developed, the institutional system also continued to evolve. Here at TBT, we are much like our Israelite ancestors. Our spiritual leadership is about to transfer from one so-called generation to the next. In a political sense, our nominating committee is working to create a new set of congregational leaders to take us into the new fiscal year. These congregational leaders are made up of dedicated members such as yourselves, and many of you have already participated in that leadership role. You know that those who participate in the leadership contribute resources to guide our synagogue into the future. Lastly, the true element that transforms us as a community is our membership. Those individuals and families who recognize that in order for Judaism to survive, we need to support this Kehila Kedoshah, this house of worship known as TBT, House of Hope. We owe it to future generations to provide a house of worship, a house of education, and a house of assembly, the three purposes of a synagogue. May we be blessed with the courage and strength to embrace transformation. May we have the clarity of mind to see the opportunities that change can bring and the wisdom to navigate through any challenges that may arise. May we find joy and fulfillment in the process of transforming ourselves and our lives, and may our transformation inspire others to embark on their own journey of growth and self-discovery. May we be blessed with the love and support of those around us, and may we know that we are never alone on our path of transformation. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. I would like to now invite our Vice President of Operations. Does that mean you're a surgeon? Our Vice President of Operations, past president, head of the Cooking for Kiddush Club, and all around Gute Neshama, Greg Weitzman, for greetings and announcements. Wait a minute. Let me, yeah. Get out of here. Thank you.
Well, there's a lot of stuff going on, and I'm sure there's something for everybody. Our Vice President of Education, Terry Applebaum, has arranged a teen trip to the Museum of Tolerance on April 16th. Details on any of these announcements you can find on Tidbits, on our website, or call the office. Parents are invited to attend this also. We are going to reimagine our family Shabbats. Starting on April 21st, we're mixing our family Shabbat services. The schedule will be family service, Tot Shabbat at 5:15, a potluck Shabbat at 6 p.m., and Shabbat services at 7 p.m. The Butterfly Project is a worldwide project to paint 1.5 million ceramic butterflies, one for each of the children who perished during the Holocaust. That will be on May 6th at noon here. April 17th, our Yom HaShoah service. Rabbi Miriam Van Rolt and Cantorial Fellow Gabriel Newman will lead a short service to acknowledge this important day. If you, your parents, your grandparents are connected to the Holocaust, let us know. We'd like to include them in the service. On April 18th, the next project is Yom HaShoah, Read Their Names. This is a worldwide project to read all 6 million names of those who perished in the Holocaust. We've been given a number of names and doling it out in 15-minute segments. I think all of the segments are taken, but call the office if you'd like to participate.
We have 5.
We have lots more. Please call and participate. Yom Ha'atzamat, Israel LaPalooza, on April 26th is Israeli dinner, Israeli folk dancing, $10. And there are still some tickets left for our men's club event, an Angel game on May 8th at 6:30 p.m. Angels versus the Astros. The price is $29, and you can see Mitch Shapiro or contact the office. Shabbat Shalom. Please check and see if your Yom HaShoah candles are in the entryway and pick them up.
Well done, Greg. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And now we are going to continue on page 570, I believe, with the counting of the Omer.
Close, probably. I think it's 5. I had it. Once upon a time. Ooh,
I'm right. 570.
Oh, I thought you said, for some reason I thought you said 417. That's my bad.
570.
Thank you. Hard of
Starting on
hearing.
the second day of Pesach, we count the Omer, which is a measure of wheat. We count up to the day of Shavuot, which is our spring harvest festival. And we start by acknowledging that we are indeed ready to do the counting, followed by a blessing that Gabrielle will lead us in, and then she will do the reading. She will do the count.
I will do the count.
You are the count.
Sorry.
That was good.
Thank you. Hineni mukhan umzuman, Hineni mukhan umzuman, Hineni mukhan umzuman, Lekayem mitzvah aseh. Hineni mukhan umzuman, Hineni mukhan umzuman, Hineni mukhan umzuman, Lekayim mitzvah aseh shesfirat haomer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer.
Amen.
Hayom tisha yamim shehem shavo echad u'shnei yamim la'omer. Today is 9 days, which is 1 week, and 2 days of the Omer.
7 plus 2 equals 9. The Omer is only counted in the evening, so
Because that's when the day starts.
that's when the day starts. We now continue with Aleinu, page 586, and I invite you to rise if you are able.
as you are able.
No kvetching allowed.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו כחמונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We welcome Evelyn and Michael back into the congregation following the death of your stepdad. May his memory be a blessing. Invite those who are in the Shiva period and Shloshim period to rise and share the names of your loved ones. I would also like to remember Maya, Rena, and Lucy, thank you, Dee, whose lives were tragically taken in Israel in the past week.
Joan Friedman for first year of mourning, and first year of mourning for Jonathan Kazin and Jerome Siron.
Thank you. If you are in the first year of mourning, I invite you to rise and join us. Would you like to mention the name? If you're observing a yort site this week, I invite you to rise and share the name of your loved ones. We also remember H. Ira Fritz, Joseph Gordon, Gary Perkins, Marcia Boxert, Mildred Gilbert, Goldie Goldman, Justin Shepsis, Leonard Shane, Alvin Goldberg, Sylvia Danto, Sally Greenberg, and Gertrude Dubow. For those whose names were mentioned, those we hold in our hearts, if it is your custom to rise for the Kaddish, I invite you to do so and join our mourners on page 598. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah ve'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekudasha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi Shlomo Rabbah min Shemaya
וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן.
May the source of strength give love to all who mourn, all and comfort to all who are bereaved among us. We say amen.
Amen.
I invite you to join us with Kiddush via Hulu. Thank you. I'll have one or the other. Page 122 for via Hulu. We're almost with you.
Careful.
We're almost there. If you're on our Zoom or Facebook or YouTube, I invite you to also get a glass of your favorite beverage and join us. Thanks. You're so sweet. Thank you.
Andrew respectfully declines. ויער ויבוקר יום השישי, ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויכל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי, ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת לחיים.
Thank you. As we close our service for this Shabbat Eve, we ask God's prayer upon us for protection, for well-being, and for peace. The priestly benediction, Birkat Kohanim.
יברכם אדוני וישמרכם, יאר אדוני פניו אליכם ויחונכם, יישא אדוני פניו אליכם ויעצם לכם שלום, ויעשם לכם שלום, ויעשם לכם שלום.
Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
Please join us in our social hall for no matzah.
No matzah. Matzah free oneg.
Happy, let it be written. We are done
We
with
made
the
it.
matzah. We still have 10 pounds in the kitchen if anybody
Oh, good.
is
I mean,
in
it'll
need.
still be good in a year.
Shabbat Shalom to all our Zoom Gregans.
Shabbat
Shabbat Shalom, Barbara and Phyllis, who else? And
Jeremy.
Jeremy and Carolyn and